Hello and welcome to my little corner of the internet. I do hope you will enjoy your stay here. Today, in this video, we are going to be making an 18th century shift. What is that? Great question, dear viewer. It is my first real attempt into historical costuming in like a proper sense from the, inside out. Yeah, and it's basically, gonna be your lowermost layer as someone wearing women's clothing. The gender binary isn't real, but that's who wore it primarily. That was a really bad explanation. I'm not a woman, but I want to wear a pretty dress. So I'm starting with an underlayer, and this is a video of me making it. Enjoy. I have obtained large quantities of linen. Is this too much for a single shift? Almost certainly, but it's always a good thing to have more linen. So I'm not complaining. For this pattern, you will need 3 different measurements because it's all just a bunch of squares with a couple of triangles. What you're going to need is your shoulder measurement, the length of how long you want it, and arm measurements, because everything else should just fall into place. I'm going to measure my shoulders first. I know that I want it to be 40 inches long because I'm 5'4", which is 64 inches, which will leave 24 inches, which is 2 feet of stuff outside of the shift, and my head, or like from my shoulder to the top of my head, is about 10 inches, which leaves, you get it. I'm gonna go for 40 inches long, and that should be a good place. It should come like past my knees. I'm taking my tape measure and I'm going from here to here, which is, I want to say, about 20 inches. Yep, 20 inches. And that went like slightly off my shoulders, but that's okay. And then, so I want this shift to be like slightly multi-purposing, so I'm not going to go like full length sleeves because that'll get in the way of a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to go to like here or so, which would be easier with another person. Let's go with 10 inches. 10 inches sounds great. And now we will move on to the pattern. I forgot a measurement. This is fine. This is fine. Obviously, we aren't just gonna lay a piece of fabric over my arm, so we have to figure out how wide my arm is. For that, what you're gonna do is you're going to take your tape measure and you're gonna wrap it around your arm, around your bicep. For me at least, I'm gonna do it around my bicep because that's where I want it to be. And then I'm gonna make my muscles all big, and 14 inches gives me some room. So 10 by 14 for my little square sleeves, rectangle sleeves. And now, onto the pattern. I am an absolute liar, actually. You don't need 3 measurements, you need 5. Because I forgot about the gores. The gores, if you don't know, are what make the skirt swoosh out. So instead of it being 20 inches the whole way down, because you have hips and want a swooshy skirt, you have to add in some volume at the bottom, which is done by gores. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from my waist to about where it's going to end, and get that length so that I know how long I want that piece of fabric to be. This would also be easier with another person. I think 25 inches is going to be what it is, but I will like double check that when I'm actually looking at the fabric and all of that. Yes, so now for the final time, I promise this time we are getting onto the pattern. Okay, so I cut out all of the pieces except for the gores, and I figured I'd show you that before I get too far ahead. I paused Heartstopper for you. That's how important you are. This show is really good. It's making me very happy. Anyways, here we have 2 gussets, which go under the arms to give you slightly more mobility. These are 4 inches by 4 inches because I believe in women's clothing, the gussets are a lot smaller, and this is probably honestly too big, but I like to move. Here are the yes, these are just blobs of white linen, but isn't that what this is? This is the sleeves. I'll show you better how they go together, but essentially these like get folded in half and then attached to the gusset in the armpit area, and it's like funky and weird, and that was such a bad angle. Yeah, 2 of those, 10 by 14 or so, and then the big ones that I cannot get entirely in frame. If ever there was just a big blob of linen. This is 20 inches by 40 inches, plus like a little bit on the width side for seam allowance. Yeah, and so I'm gonna like figure out, I'm probably gonna like sew up the sleeves first because that's easy, and then like figure out how far up I want the gores to start, and then base like the size of the gores on that. And I still have an obscene amount of linen left. Exciting. Yes, this has been the mostly cut out update. We will see you again soon. Okay, so I have a sleeve pinned together. This is how the gusset works, as you can maybe see. Right, it goes in there like a square. Anyways, I think I'm gonna make a bigger gusset just because, there is no room, like, right here, which maybe that's the fact that my shirt sleeve ends there. So, no, it's a bit tight, so I think I'm gonna make the gusset, like, an inch bigger, so like 5 by 5 instead of 4 by 4, so that I can not have that happen. New sleeve gusset, significantly bigger. Fits on my arm much better, even though it has just like a giant thing. Okay, so I cut out the like neck shape, which you'll see when I show you. And I'm just sewing the shoulder part together. I'm doing a back stitch. So I did it so that the tops are selvage to selvage, and I'm just going to do a back stitch, or 2 back stitches along the, where they're overlapping on the outside. So the right sides, and then that'll be it. And then it'll be ready for me to attach the sleeves and figure out the gore situation and all of that. We are on episode 4 of Heartstopper. It's really cute. Okay, so I finished one sleeve. It's all put together, and I figured I'd tell you how I did it real quick for going on to the next one, because I'm not in a place where I can actually show you how I sew, just because I don't have any way to like set that up. Anyways, this is the inside of the sleeve. I shoved the gusset in there at a roughly right angle, and then backstitched this side, and then this side and the whole thing in one little thing, in one foul swoop. Then I finished it by finished the edges by cutting down one side of the fabric, folding it in half, and then in half again. This is actually like really tiny, and if you haven't done it a lot, I'd suggest leaving a bigger seam allowance, but I was working with next to nothing. Anyways, I then like whip stitched it down. Focus. 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 That's not very focused. Yeah, that's what I did, and I'm doing this all by hand because I feel like it and don't really want to deal with my sewing machine, because I don't like using a sewing machine, honestly. But yeah, if you want to use a sewing machine, go for it. That's how this is done. Ideally, I would have like actually white thread, but I don't have actually white thread. Also, side note, but Elle is actually so pretty. She's so pretty. This is such a good show. Yeah. See you with another completed sleeve soon. Now I've made what we in the business call a whoopsie, a mistake, an uh-oh, a miscalculation. You see, I forgot, due to mental illness and my personal philosophy, that humans exist in a 3D body, and I forgot to count for the fact that I am not 20 inches all the way down, or even 20 inches to my chest. Which means we have to get creative with the goring. Sorry, that sounds really bad. We have to get creative with how we do gore placement. Now, typically, it looks something like that. You have, you know, two little triangles coming out from about the hips or the waist. From a side view, it would look something like that. There's the armpit gusset, there's the gores, and there's where it's sewn up in the middle. I can't do that though, because otherwise I will not be able to breathe, and shifts are supposed to be kind of loose. So we have to get creative with the goring. I keep saying that. We have to get creative. We have to do something a bit more like this. So you see, instead of the side seam going straight, it's gonna get sewn to this bit. Yes, does that look like something out of your 5th grade math book that you would have to find the volume of? Yeah, it does, but it should fit in. It should fit, hopefully. That is the hope. And then I can actually wear the thing. So, no triangles, just 5th grade math questions. So, because I was giving you little updates and I want to actually show me sewing, here's me sewing, and I finished Heartstopper, and since I was also giving you guys my thoughts on that while I was sewing, I thought I would, I don't know, just do like a little final thoughts thing, because I have some thoughts, and you get to watch me sew, so that you know what I'm doing while I'm doing this shit. Oh, my needle came unthreaded. Basically, where did my scissors go? There's my scissors. I'm attaching the sleeves, but like without the gores in there, because you saw the diagram. So I'm just attaching the sleeve part, and I'll figure out the size of the gores later. And I'm just doing a back stitch around them because that's straightforward enough. And sleeves take strain, so I'm not gonna just do a running stitch. Anyways, Heartstopper was a really good show. I haven't read the book. I've read another book by Alice Osman. I've read Loveless, which I loved personally as an Arrow Ace person. I thought it was really great. And the show Heartstopper was really good, but I haven't read the book, but maybe I will at some point. It was so good. I really liked Elle. She was really pretty, but like she was great outside of that too, but she was really pretty. And it was just so good. It was, I mean, not being queer baited is always awesome. Between Heartstopper and Our Flag Means Death, the gays have been being fed, which is always great. I enjoy feeding on content. Why are most of my thoughts? It was really cute. It was very cute. I have other thoughts. The music was awesome. I recognized some of it. Orla Gartland was in there during the scene. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen it. I have thoughts and opinions, and I'm sharing them, and this is not a spoiler-free zone, so if you want to pause the video and go binge those 8 episodes, I would highly recommend. Anyways, the scene, Why Am I Like This by Orla Gartland was playing in the background, and Nick was doing his Am I Gay quizzes, and I loved that scene, and like the cinematography there was good. The part, like the shot where he was sitting there and like the camera was overhead, while he was taking the quizzes was like epic. I'm a sucker for good camera work, which may be a surprise if you've seen my videos. I will get more good shots at some point. A tripod would help. Anyways, yeah, that scene was great. I really love Orla Gartland's music, and that's definitely one of my favorite songs, so I really loved that. Also, just generally, like, the music worked so well, and I really liked the music. The shots were really good. The cast was great. The last 2 episodes sent me in a loop. Like, I was on the edge of my seat. I was so invested in these people, which is good. That's the point of media. You're supposed to be invested in what's happening. But, like, those last 2 episodes were really tense. I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, I figured it would all end happily because Alice Osman would never... Osman? I don't know how she says her name. Yeah, I don't know how she says her name. Regardless, you know, she wouldn't let it. She wouldn't do that to us. Alice wouldn't do that to us. There we go. I can avoid everything if I just say Alice. And I liked the ending. I loved the little animated bits, like the lightning and the butterflies and the leaves and all of that was just like, it was such a good touch. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a nod to like the fact that the book was kind of a graphic novel, right? I might be wrong. I haven't read the book. But like I that was really cute, and it just put me in such a good mood. Like, even when all of the bad stuff was happening, it was just like, they're gonna be okay in the end. Is this how straight people feel watching straight romances? I don't know. Maybe. I am not a straight person. Maybe I should ask my mom. She is a straight person. Yeah, but I really liked it. It was really nice. It was comfort show material. That's it. I've been listening to enough stuff that's like fucked up enough to know comfort material when I hear it, because teeth in an apple, while hilarious, is not actually comforting. Shout out if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I really loved Darcy and Tara. Yeah, I really loved them. They were great. They were cool. I liked them. Also, Darcy has the coolest name, and I don't just say that because I played Lizzie Bennet in Pride and Prejudice, and really enjoyed that. There is more. She was a great character. She was very cool and very supportive of her girlfriend, and we love to see that. We love to see people being supportive of their partners. Be supportive of your partners, and things will go better than if you were not supportive of your partners. Look at me dropping wisdom bombs while struggling to stab fabric with a tiny sword. Yeah, I guess that's my final thoughts. It was really good, and I hope we get a season 2, because I really enjoyed it, and it made me very happy and in a very smiley and giggly mood, in case the smile that I think I've had on my face the entire time didn't tell you. The bowling alley. When they were at the bowling alley for Charlie's birthday, I thought that the lighting in that scene was great, and maybe that's just the fact that it was like neonish lights, but like, that scene was so pretty to look at. And the snow scene, that was also good, when Charlie and Nick were out in the snow and the dog was there, because the dog is always there. I mean, the dog wasn't always there, but she was there enough. It sufficed for my dog needs, because I don't have a dog. No, my goal in life is to befriend enough people with dogs that I just have infinite dogs to pet. Because I would not be a very good pet owner. Will that change? Probably at some point, but for now, don't leave your dog with me over the weekend. But I will come over to your house and pet it. That was my final rambling thoughts on the new show on Netflix, Heartstopper. I thought it was really good, and if you haven't seen it, I think you should see it because it was really cute, and it had a happy ending, and you know, we don't always see that in stories about queer characters, which is a problem. It's really nice not to be queer baited, and we definitely weren't in that one. And now I'm thinking about Our Flag Means Death. That's also a very good show, and also did not queer bait us. But we are not talking about Our Flag Means Death. Perhaps another time, but not now. Now, Heartstopper, solid 8 out of 10, would recommend. It made me happy, and it looked good doing it. Why does my needle keep getting unthreaded? I think that that's a sign for me to stop rambling about the show and saying the exact 3 things that I've been saying. So, Heartstopper, good show, definitely, should watch. And my shift is coming along, and eventually it will be done, and then I will post this video onto the YouTube, and you will be there to see it. Alright, so I haven't been able to record me actually sewing, but I did get the gores cut out, and they are mostly in. I have like 3 more pins to do on one of the sides. But as you can see, it kind of like mimics that drawing I did. So there's the gusset, and here's the top of the gore, and it goes down to the bottom. Yeah, and so I just need to finish putting the gores in, and then finish like, you know, finish the seams, hem it, all of that, and then we're done. It is nice and shapeless, and that is the ideal for a shift, I guess. It's what I wanted, so that's good. I got the gores in, and so for the neckline, I'm just doing a quick rolled hem, which is where you roll the edge of the fabric and whip stitch it down. I would show you, but I am using my other hand to hold the camera. But yeah, this is not how you sew. But that's what you do, and then you put it back in, and then take it back out, and it does this nice itty-bitty hem that, is small and inoffensive. Yeah, after that, it's just the finishing of the edges, or the seams, so that they don't completely die, and the hemming of the bottom, and also evening out the bottom because it is uneven with the gores. Almost there. This is the most shapeless thing I have ever worn, and I love it so much. I also will find a better way to show you this because I am too short, but there's some embroidery. You can just about see it. Bam! It's a little spiral. Do I have any proof of historically people doing this? No! But they also didn't have glasses in the 1700s, so it's comfortable. It's cool. A nice little embroidered spiral on the hem because I felt like it and no one can stop me. Also, I got stockings. These I did not make, but they're cool. Could I have just spent like $5 on a normal pair of thigh highs? Yes, but garters. And there we go. There's my finished shift. Before I tell you to do all of the normal things like and subscribe and comment and all of that, you can still do that. Go ahead and do it. It's fine. But before that, I wanted to say that this is part of a series that I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to make a full 18th century ensemble, roughly 1780s, but not super strictly 1780s, if that makes sense. Vaguely 1780s, like the shift is vaguely 1700s. Yeah, I thought that would be a lot of fun, and so yeah, this is the first video in that series, and there will be more coming when I finish stuff. Yeah, but that's that. So now, officially, you may like and subscribe and comment if you would like it too. I would highly recommend subscribing for more of my vaguely late 18th century clothing. Or if you like me, I do other things sometimes. Yeah, but you can do that. You can also find me on Instagram at, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, so editing Clark, put it up here. Thank you. And you can also find me on Etsy, actually, here. Right there. And that is all for now, so I bid you adieu.